The Jazz get blown out for second night in a row. That one was hard to watch. I think I was being a little bit too competitive on wanting us to beat Donovan, and they're a good team, man. They are better than I actually thought. I don't know if they'll come out of the East, but they're second best defense in the league. I think Milwaukee was the first ranked defense in the league, and it showed. It definitely showed. I think we have a great offense. I think we're ranked number 4, but when people turn it up on us and really try and lock us down and get into us, we struggle, and that's a lot what playoff basketball is going to be like. So, I don't know. This team, these games, I think, are good for this team to realize, oh shoot, like we have another aspect of the game to learn, and we need to learn how to become tough and mentally tough, especially when people are in you. I mean, that's a lot of mental toughness as well, not letting it affect you. Donovan just came out, looked like he wanted to rip our throats off right from the get-go, and he did. And had he played more minutes, I think he would have had a much bigger stat line than he did. He finishes with, let me pull this up here, 23. He shot really efficiently as well, 66% from the field, 80% from three-point line. And ironically enough, I thought the player that guarded him the best, which he didn't guard him nearly enough, was none other than number 8, Vanderbilt. I feel like there's times where Vanderbilt's pretty ineffective and lost on defense, but I think that's one spot he could have helped tonight, is either guard Garland or Mitchell and make them uncomfortable with his length. As far as Lauri Markkanen, like, there were some positives in his game, even though we got blown out. Lauri drops 24. I felt like that was his most aggressive game in a Jazz uniform. I think he took it a little personally, especially before the first half was ending. He goes coast to coast, dunks it. It just felt like he was attacking the rim a little harder and wanting to dunk the basketball instead of fading away. And I really like that. I tweeted out at one point, if Lauri can just go back and watch his highlights on repeat, he might realize how dominant of a player he can be. I don't think he realizes how good he can be. And I wish someone on the coaching staff or a training staff would just kind of shake him and tell him, like, you need to take more shots. I know there was a little debate in our group chat whether he should be taking more shots or Clarkson. So he shoots 12 from the field, 6 3-pointers, compared to Clarkson's 21 and 6 from the 3-point line. And he scored one more point. So I think it's evident who needs to shoot more. I want to dive into Jordan Clarkson talk a little bit more, and how important Olynyk is to our offense. Obviously, this was one of the first games I think he was out, and it was evident that he helps our offense move, spaces the offense. I know I'm always hard on Olynyk, but I think it helped me become more of a fan of him, just realizing what he provides to our team. I don't think he's an important piece moving forward, but as far as the state that we're in right now, I think he's an important piece. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Kevin, and then Tevin, welcome back, bro. If you want to go ahead and request to speak, either one of you, go ahead. So, Kevin, mic's all yours, bro.
Bro, I don't want to toot my own horn, but this game made me look like a genius. I've been telling, we talked about this last week. The reason Vando looks so crappy on defense is because he doesn't get to guard smaller guards. When he guards people his own size or smaller, He is a good defender.
Yeah.
But when he's constantly guarding big forwards and centers, he can't match up against them. That's one of the things I get so frustrated against. Like, I understand he can guard the 4 and the 5, but he's not an elite defender at the 4 and the 5.
No.
I don't even know that he's an elite defender against the 2 and the 3, but I think he is a high-level defender at the 2 and the 3.
I think he's a high-level on-ball defender.
Yeah. And so I think we really got to see that tonight against some, I would say, some premier offensive scorers, the 2, the 3, and even the 1. And I think we saw him perform very well. And so I was really excited to kind of see him. I know I give him such crap, but I think defensively he looked really good tonight. So first point there. Second, the Cavaliers had zero desire to guard Markkanen tonight. I'm glad he had a great game, but they didn't even try to guard him tonight. How many open threes did he get? I mean, the guy gets a rebound and goes coast to coast, and they didn't even attempt to stand in front of him.
Yeah, that might have been part of their plan too, because he hasn't performed.
Up by 20 since the first quarter, you don't really have to play.
Yeah, but I mean that might have been the game plan from the start. Let Lauri get his by the fourth quarter. He will wear out because he's done it in other games, and that might have been part of the scouting report. Just hey, Lauri might have a big first half, first 3 quarters, but even if it is a close game, he's not going to be able to have the energy to pull it out by himself.
And then kind of the last thing I want to touch on before I let you kind of keep rolling on with the cast here and maybe get into some other stuff is I think the point you made is this kind of, I think, was a little indicative of what we can expect in the playoffs. And unless some things change, this is what is going to happen to us if we get in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna get straight run right out of the building, whether it's home or away. And I know y'all like to give me a hard time about my tanking perspective, but this is kind of why I have this perspective, because I just don't want to lose by 15 plus 4 straight games in a row in the first round and have above a 15 round pick. Like, I just don't want that to happen, because I feel like that we don't move forward. I'm not move forward, but I just don't. I feel like it's a waste of a season if that happens. So that's where I'm really hoping that we move some pieces and we do something, because I think when teams actually bring their A game like Cleveland did tonight, I think this happens more often than not. I think if I know we kind of got in this argument a couple weeks back that, there were some injuries and we've had some injuries, but I really do think that there's been a conscious effort for teams not to play their A game against us this season. And I think if teams, we are 5 games out of being like 5 more losses this season, and we have we're in like argument for like a top 5 pick. And I think if teams play their top lineup against us in all the games this season, I easily think there's 3 to 4 games, extra games we lose this season. So, but I don't know, because you have New Orleans that we show up against 3 times this season, and the only thing they're missing is Ingram, and every time it was legit, it was injury. Other than that, they bring their A game. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I think our record is much better than what the team really is.
Yeah, and Kevin loves games like this. Kevin absolutely loves games like this. And honestly, I think if more games happen like this, more of us will actually think like Kevin. It's hard to say that I don't want to make the playoffs, because for me as a fan, I just, if we can make it to the playoffs, and even if we lose, like just making it to the playoffs when we were supposed to be terrible, I think would be kind of fun. But it's going to depend on matchups if we even have a chance, because if we match up against a team that's defensively good, like that's really what wins in the playoffs, in my opinion. You can have good games and shoot really good and outscore teams, but when it comes down to it, each team's going to get tired Oh, do we want to hear Donovan's interview? What do you guys think? Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's different when you play against like your friends, guys you've been in the locker room with, battled with. I got a lot of respect for everybody in that locker room, and for myself just to come out, set a tone, but understand it's basketball, man, and have fun and not overdo it and just enjoy it.
Mike, this is an interesting
Wow, that was
because so many players left the Jazz who had been here for a while.
That was it. What? It's different playing against your friends, blah, blah, blah. Oh, man. So.
Not a single friend on the floor. Ain't nobody like him after what he had to say about them in that article.
Clarkson likes him. They were all dapping it up after the game. But that's what I want to get into is we were talking about trading Clarkson during the group chat during the game. And I was thinking about it because, I love Clarkson. I still do. He was a great fit with last year's team in that group for the last couple of years. I just think his role was a sixth man. He didn't have to make many decisions. It was go in, shoot the ball, score. And with this team, he's in charge of making a lot more decisions, and he's not very good at making good decisions. First half, he came down, it's like, okay, we got to stop. Maybe we can get some momentum, and just chucks it up. And it's like, man, why not run a play and try and get Lauri a touch? Because Lauri makes good decisions. If he's double-teamed or not going to get a good shot, he usually passes it to the open guy. And, I'm starting to think I like Clarkson and would like him to get on a team that he can flourish like he did with last year's team and be that guy again, because he has had a streaky career. I think he's had his best career moments here in Utah. Oh, coach is on. This is way more important. Here we go.
Shot the ball unbelievably well from all three levels of the court. They play with great tempo. They bothered us with their physicality in the first half, which is what got us behind the eight ball tonight. I think our team approached the second half the right way. The game is tough when you don't make open shots, which I think tonight, when we did generate good looks, we didn't make any of them. I thought for the most part we continued to compete with 15 offensive rebounds and forced 22 turnovers. We just never seemed to catch any type of a rhythm on the offensive end, and the times that we did make runs, Cleveland answered, and they played great. That's a very good team that we just played, and it's a great opportunity for our team to continue to learn when we do play teams that are bigger and more physical than we are, ways that we need to adapt to the game. So the good news is these games only count as one. And like I said to you guys after our last game, it's never as bad as it feels. And it's our job to strip away the emotion, try to learn from this game, because we play again tomorrow.
What have you learned just having to face the top two defenses in the league?
Yeah, I really don't get into much the fact that they're the top two defenses. I think it's how they play defense. They're just big and physical, and I don't think that we've had the necessary approach to the little things offensively. Just things as simple as fighting for your space when you want to get a catch, sprinting to screen, bending your knees when you go to set a screen so that you can actually make contact and get your teammates open. Teams that are big and physical like this, they expose that when you don't do it. We can't just use all speed against them. You have to buckle down and be physical on the offensive end. I think when physicality is talked about generally in a basketball game, people think of rebounding and defense and those moments, but you have to be very physical in the NBA on the offensive end when you play defenses like the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I thought in the first half we did not do that consistently enough. I also thought there were moments where we got 4 or 5 great looks from 3 in a row and didn't make any of them. So it's both things are true. You can miss good looks and you cannot have the attention to the details offensively, and I think that these last 2 games have shown us that when teams do have a significant size advantage on us, we really have to be more cognizant of the little things to help each other create good shots, because we don't have one player that we rely on to just break the defense down on their own. We have to help each other generate good shots. And
we've got Lauri, though.
For the majority of this season, we've done that, and that's why our offense has been top 5 in the NBA. But we can't have slippage in those areas after we play a couple of good games, and then you go up against good defenses.
How much did you miss Kelly's ability to play above the people?
Yeah, Kelly's a big part of our team. He's a very versatile player, presents a matchup problem in a lot of ways because small guys struggle with his size and the bigger guys tend to struggle with the fact that he can space the floor, and he's very skilled. So obviously, we love when Kelly plays for us, but every night in the NBA is different, and you're never going to have 82 games of perfect health. And so it's on us as a group to adapt, for people to step up when they get opportunities, for us to be able to play some different lineups, because you can't bet on perfect health. And, Kelly has shown a lot of toughness this year. He's played through a lot of bumps and bruises so far, and, he just couldn't go tonight. So I think it's always nice when he plays, but in no way am I looking at this game, or our staff will look at this game and say, oh, well, if we had had Kelly, it would have been different. We have to approach the game with who we have and try to learn from it.
On the other end of the floor, what do you think about your defense?
Objection, leading the witness. I thought it was terrible. I mean, they got where they wanted to go. They made a lot of tough shots, but they also had, 10 or 11 dunks. I think their physicality around the basket bothered us. I think we've talked about, Walker continuing to grow in those areas when he's on the ball. I thought there were some plays where Jared Allen was just really physical and kind of pushed him out of the way and was able to finish. So there were a lot of loud baskets. They have very talented players. Donovan's an incredible player. Darius is an incredible player. Chetty Osman had an amazing game shooting the ball. So, again, it felt worse than maybe it actually is. I'll have to go back and watch the film, but our physicality on the ball just wasn't good enough. If you let good players like that get into a rhythm, you leave yourself susceptible to them hitting tough ones after they've seen a few go in, which I think happened tonight. So I'm more concerned with the physical plays around the basket than I am with the jump shots that were made. And I think as a team, we have to continue to grow in that area. It's not, I mentioned Walker, but it's not just about Walker. It's about our whole team. We have to continue to improve in those physical aspects of our defense. You end up looking at it, and they scored 4 more points in the paint than we did, but I think it's how they scored those points in the paint, getting all the way on the basket, the 10 or 11 dunks. Transition was a huge part of those points in the paint. They really played off their defense, and anytime that we fell asleep, they ran out and got a layup. Okoro got the one early off a free throw, got another one late in the first half. So, they did a great job of attacking us in a variety of ways tonight. It wasn't one thing that beat us. It was a combination of a lot of different things.
Jazz fall to the Cavaliers tonight, but Lauri Markkanen leading all scorers with 24, coast to coast, and kisses it off the glass.
Discovery Gateway Children's Museum uses their...
The one thing that stood out to me, what Coach said, was loud baskets. There definitely were some loud baskets. And I know I'm so hard on number 8, poor little fella. But there were 2 really loud baskets because of bad decisions. One of them, he came down and just threw the ball up. And I feel like our transition defense is bad, but it's even worse when we take bad shots, because most of our team isn't expecting that the shot's going to go up, and then the team rams it down our throat on the other end. It was the big dunk by the kid, Okoro or something. But those are the ones that stood out to me. Once we hit third quarter, I was like, and then fourth quarter hit, and totally tuned out. I think there were good moments with Kessler. I loved how he left him in and was trying to give him a learning moment. The incredible splits done by THT, and then he, basically was on his knee and threw the ball up into the hoop. Markkanen had a great game, and hopefully that confidence leads into the next game. But I want to go over to another speaker. We've got JC's drip. I'd like to hear from you on what you think about JC. I know it's easy to have one bad game and then get down on players or point fingers at players, but what's your feel with JC? Obviously, he's had games where he struggles, but what's your opinion as far as that goes? Hang on, who just was that you, Kevin?
New Wave just requested he's connected.
Oh, okay. We'll go to him first. He's been on here before.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
He's still connecting.
Oh.
JC Drip just dropped. Maybe he was having a hard time requested. And back to your point before we went to coach, just to talk about JC. I love his game, and I think he's got a great game. He just has, in my mind, it's just not built to be a starter. Because when you are a mass shooter like that, and you're going to shoot that many shots, and you're not efficient, you're taking shots away from people who are more efficient. It's okay to do that when you're the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
When you're with the starters, you're not the best player on the floor, unfortunately. And nothing against JC. I love him. You can't just, after being this guy for his ninth year in the league, I think, maybe? Ninth?
Yeah.
You can't
Something
be
like
that
that
guy for 9 years and then just ask him to switch in one season. Maybe if we do this for a couple of years, he could be a facilitator, a passer, and could really do this. But I think it's going to take time to get there. He can't just magically start seeing the floor a different way than he has for the first 9 years of the league. So, right. I mean, I'd really like to see him. I really like to see him get to the bench and maybe see Beasley get some minutes and see Beasley just jack up some good threes. But I don't know. Beasley was looking dumb tonight too, so I don't know if I want to see that either.
Yeah, it was. At one point, I'm like, well, just put in all our 3-point shooters and see if we can make some type of comeback. But that's a problem with this team is we love the 3-point line, and it's great when we're hitting them. Obviously, when we're not, it just seems like we struggle to try to do something else. Like it and that's what I said last podcast is if Beasley wants to become the true all-star that he says he wants to, he's got to learn to drive and score in other positions, and that's really what Donovan's become so good at. And Donovan, man, he's a great player. He just is, and he was here. I think he's playing way above what he was here as far as everything. Let's just be honest.
He's playing. He's
Yeah.
playing again.
He's playing. He's having fun. He's got a new girlfriend. He's in a new city. Everything is awesome when it's new. It's like moving into a new house, right?
It's not. Well, it's not even that. It's he now has all the knowledge and experience that he's gained from the last 3 years, and he's playing at the energy level he did as a rookie and sophomore year. If he'd have played last year with the energy that he had as rookie sophomore year, we'd have seen the same thing.
Yeah. Yes. I was making the analogy. It's like moving into a new house, right? Like everything seems way better in a new house because it's newer, it's bigger, it has things that you didn't want. But as you live in the house, you start realizing things that you wish you still had. Maybe a different neighborhood. And I think that Donovan will come to that realization of how good it was here in Utah. Really, I don't think fans treated him that bad. I don't think fans treated him that bad. I think what happened is he got on social media, and there's, certain fans that just say whatever the hell they want on social media and Twitter and whatever. And so I think that was weighing on him. He's a kid. Like he really is a kid. He's a 25-year-old kid, making lots of money, has a shoe deal, basically has the world in the palm of his hand, and it was weighing on him. And so I think it was good for both of us. I don't really condone the remarks that he's been having. I think he's saying it in a way that is like socially acceptable, but also Jazz fans are reading between the lines and seeing that it's kind of taking jabs at Utah. I also think part of it is he's bitter towards Danny Ainge. I think there may have been part of him that wanted to stay here, and from my understanding, there was a falling out between him and Danny Ainge, maybe in the off season. And so when Danny Ainge came out with the remarks, this team just didn't trust each other, that could have hurt Donovan too, right?
I don't think it was Danny. I think it's Justin. I think that there was an agreement in place that he was going to get to go to New York. And Danny nixed it.
Yeah.
And he didn't get to go to New York. And I think that that's what the feeling hurt. Because when he was on SportsCenter and he was getting interviewed by what's her name, she asked him, how close was, what? He's like, well, there's things behind the scenes that I can't tell you about it, but it was really close. Like,
yeah.
I tell you, it was really close. Like, I think he thought he was going to New York
for sure,
and he didn't get to go to New York like he wanted to. So, like any spoiled child, he got his feeling hurt. But I'm going to stop you there because we did finally get connected to New Wave, and I'm going to give him a second to get his thoughts out there. So go ahead and come off mute and give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so I think with the whole Donovan thing, I don't know if it's as much as like him being a spoiled child or anything of the sort. I think he is a young man and he really wants to make a change. And I applaud him for that. That's a fantastic standpoint. He has a huge platform. He wants to make a change. And that's really awesome. I think what ruined Utah for him was that whole thing with he wanted to talk to our like our Senate representatives and our House representatives about certain things that he like his viewpoints when we have an extremely conservative and Mike Lee and all that, and like our local government, like our governor's conservative, all of them are conservative, which I don't want to get into whole politics talk, but I think that's a lot of what ruined it, because they kind of said no, put him in his place, and then that kind of ruined that. We did have a few racial nonsense with fans, with like the Russell Westbrook thing and everything else while he was here. I don't think it's fans as a whole. I think he just kind of broke it down into he kind of left it open and vague, and that kind of seems like it only happens in Utah, and it doesn't only happen in Utah. I am not conservative, and I really love living here, and it's a fantastic place. He just had a few hiccups, and crappy things happen to him. Crappy things happen everywhere, and I think the media kind of just took this and ran with it, and kind of made it a whole thing.
Yeah.
We're playing him again for the first time, and I don't know. This was like a weird, we're going to interview him right before he plays Utah again, which makes sense. But it's also everyone knows that Utah is a red state. Most of our politicians are conservative, and it's just not something that, in my opinion, it's not something that doesn't happen almost everywhere else.
Yeah, from what I was reading on Twitter, that article was actually written several weeks ago, and it was held to run just before the game.
Oh,
So,
wow. They probably got a juicy answer and like, let's wait right before to get more clicks.
And please take that with a grain.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Please take that with a grain of salt. I can't verify my sources. It was just something I read on Twitter. Could have been complete bullcrap what they said, but there was a couple people who did say with inside information that it was that Donovan did sit down and do the interview 2 weeks ago. And I don't know how long it takes to produce an article from an interview, so maybe that is the natural timeline to do that. So I'm not in that industry, so I don't know that, but it did seem a little convenient that it happened to run the day of the game. So
Of course. Well, it's fun to compete against Donovan. It's really weird watching him in another jersey. I had the thought, man, when he's not on your team, he's really annoying. One of those players where it's just you enjoy watching him. He's entertaining, but at the same time, it's like, gosh, dude, he just does the most annoying things to get fouls called, and
but infinitely better.
yeah, but and it's smart, right? Like he's trying to win the game. It's smart on his part, but at the same time, when he's not on your team, it's just, to me, it was annoying. And I'm glad that Lauri had a few dunks, and there were some moments to like feel like we had good moments as Jazz fans. I know that.
Before we shift gears too far, I know that you've got some listeners all over the U.S., and I know you've got some international listeners, and I just want to make really clear that Donovan was really good for the Utah community, and that he did do a lot of outreaching and stuff like that. And I do have some personal friends that actually had some really awesome experiences with Donovan, where Donovan has helped their kids who are not as fortunate as some of the other kids in the community, where he's donated sports equipment to their community and stuff like that. So I don't want to, on this podcast, to paint a picture that Donovan doesn't give to the community or appreciate Utah and whatnot, because when he was there, he was very kind, he was very giving, he was out in the community, he was helping, he was supporting. I have a lot of respect for him and his willingness to help and work hard with the community and whatnot. So I just want to make sure, I know that it is frustrating, some of the things that were said, but when he was here, he was awesome, and I respect him 100%, and I'm really glad for everything that he did while he was here, and I just want to make sure that I call that out, because I think it's really important, because he is a high-character guy, or at least he was while he was here, and I really did appreciate all the stuff that he did, so.
Oh, can I ask you guys a question really quick, as far as like, so we're pretty far into the, how much do you guys keep up with, like, this is the first year in I don't know how long that I've actually been keeping up with draft prospects. How much have you guys been keeping up with that?
A lot. I'm very heavily researched into it as a
tanker. What questions do you have about around the draft? Because like, yeah, Saturday there were some really good games as far as college, and I paid attention to a few players. I know there's been different mock drafts coming out. There's another Twitter account that basically every day says, if the draft were today, here's where the Jazz would land. So it's fun to watch as like another part of the season. But yeah, what's your question as far as the draft goes?
So we have 3 picks. We can, like, aside from probably top 2, where, obviously Scoot is going 2, Wimby is going number 1. There's no question about that. We have 3 picks, so we can literally draft up to any point except for probably the top 2. And I do firmly believe we will get our number 1 in this draft. It's Will Hardy's first year this year. Will Hardy's going to be a better coach next year. I have full faith in Will Hardy because, I don't know, you can see things in Will Hardy already that, like, Quinn Snyder never really had. He probably gives me more hope than most of the players we have, because it's kind of nice to see somebody that's not just like stick to the book, like, this is what I'm going to do, these are my rotations. I will never part from my rotations. It's kind of nice to see, like, you see a little bit of Jerry Sloan in him, which is cool. He's animated, and he starts, he screams at players. But if you could draft anybody next year, aside from 1 and 2, where obviously we won't get there even with all 3 picks, who would you take?
Well, first off, to answer your question, I don't think Scoot is a lock for 2. I think Amir Thompson is making a really hard push for number 2. I think with his size and length.
Yeah, I'd almost rather have him, to be honest.
Amon Thompson.
Sorry, thank you. Amon Thompson. With his size and length and the fact that he is progressively showing that his shot is coming around, I don't know that he pushes Scoot off 2, but Scoot started off really hot with his three-point shooting, and he's starting to cool off, and he's starting to look more like he did last season, which was very abysmal. And if he can't stay in that 30 to 40% range, I think it could really hurt his stock. And he's a little bit undersized, and the NBA values that size. So to that point, I'm not sure that he's such a lock at number 2. With that said, if we fall, it's really tough. If we fall, so I think your top 5 are going to be I think your top 4 are going to be Amen.
Amir is like a combination of both the twins' names.
Yeah. Sorry, Amir is the other twin.
Amir and Amon.
Asur or whatever.
Is it Asur?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot.
I just call the offensive one and the defensive one. That's what I say.
So you've got Wemby, Scoot, and Amen are your top 3. Brandon Miller has been pushing up really, really high recently. You got the one kid from Arkansas who just played his first game.
Nick Smith.
Miller. What?
Nick Smith.
Nick Smith, yes, who just played his first game this year. He's supposed to go. And so it's really tough. I kind of have an alternative take that we talked about in a couple podcasts ago. I think if we don't make it into the top 5, I think if we fall in 6 through 10, I think there's a good chance we trade down or out of the 6 to 10 spot for draft capital. Just because I think people are going to be so desperate to get in to the top 10 that they're going to sell the farm to get there. And I think the talent between 6 and 15 is so similar that the value that you can get out of it is very similar. I think that there's a lot of options to trade down. But I would love to get Brandon Miller. The other Thompson twin would be awesome, anywhere between 6 to 15.
I'm on NBA 2023 draft. So the top 5 right now are obviously Wemby, Scoot Henderson going to Houston, Amon Thompson going to Charlotte Hornets, Nick Smith Jr. from Arkansas going to Orlando Magic, and then Cam Whitmore from Villanova going to New Orleans. So after that, you've got Anthony Black would go 6. Cason Wallace, which I watched him. He's nice from Kentucky. Really good defensively and can score, shoot the 3. They have him going to Miami. Brandon Miller would go 8th. So, Derek Whitehead at Duke would go 9.
They also have us taking 2 centers in that draft, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that was another one that I saw. So let me go to the 3 draft picks. I'm going to start at the lowest one here. The 27th pick, they have us projected to take Jalen Wilson from Kansas. It says one of college basketball's top scorers, 24.5 points a game. Wilson has been aggressive attacking transition defenses, closeouts, and ball screens. At 6'8", he's excellent at finishing the lane. So if the signs of shooting improvement continue in conference play, Wilson should have a first-round case.
So, I think he reminds me of DJ Wilson. Do you guys remember DJ Wilson? He got taken by the Bucks like a few years back.
No, I don't remember him.
He played for Michigan. He was like a stocky wing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He scored he played really well collegiately, but once he got to the NBA, it was just kind of, I don't know, he had a hard time finding minutes. And he kind of reminds me of him, but I think with the way now our NBA development is it'll probably be better than that.
See, here's the guy that I really like is Jett Howard, Juwan Howard's son at Michigan. And in this one, they have him going 18th, but I've seen a few where he goes a little bit earlier and the Jazz pick him. It says, Howard has immediately caught scouts' attention with his shot-making and scoring instincts for 6'8" wing. Though not the most creative scorer, he's produced with Michigan's offense, making jumpers and good decisions in terms of when to attack or move the ball. And he's just a big body. His dad used to play in the NBA. His dad's coaching him at Michigan. I just think mentally he is going to be one that is really NBA ready. The next one it has, and see, this is the one I'm struggling with because I haven't really watched him that much. It says this would be via the Sixers. Khalil Ware from Oregon, and he's a center. Yeah, I'm with you, man. We've had people on here though that have really been high on him for some reason, and I haven't watched him enough.
Here's why I don't like Khalil Ware. To me, he's a less offensively polished version of Kessler. He brings the same thing Kessler brings, but he doesn't have the same offensive polish that Kessler does.
Yeah, and see, the reason I see us drafting a center is because we really don't have a backup center. Like, Olynyk is not a center, Vanderbilt's not a center, Rudy Gay's not a center, Markkanen's not a center. He's a power forward or a small forward, in my mind. So that would be the one thing I could see us doing, but honestly, if we're going to take a center, I'd rather do it with one of our later picks, not one of the higher picks.
Also in the lottery, we're not going to take a backup center in the lottery.
No, and honestly, why do we need a backup center for next year? I mean, I know that not everybody's high on Donk, but he can play backup center while we're still bad.
But donk.
We don't need to invest in, like you said, a lottery backup center for at least another year or so, because we can develop Kessler to be a starting center and then sign a backup. I mean, freaking Whitehead's still out there unsigned. Or where we had last? Whiteside.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't bring Whiteside back.
But I'm saying, if we need a backup center, like...
Go find Fontecchio and sign him.
Whiteside's an emotional head case, dude.
I know. I mean, but there's always guys out there. Like, look what freaking Magic got Bola for practically nothing. And
dude, oh my gosh. How did he go unnoticed?
We also have Kelly Olynyk, who is, like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say he's a starting NBA center. He goes off every now and then, but, like...
Yeah, and I've actually made the case for him to be with the second unit. I think he would do really, really well with the second unit. After watching tonight's game, you kind of see how important he is with running our offense and really setting the pick and roll. You know, they get him the ball up top, and then he's able to make the decision whether to hand it off or roll, and that's kind of what I got. Our offense is ran through Kelly Olynyk by really giving him the first pass and then letting him make a decision.
I know that I kind of got sidetracked, but back to your original question, New Wave. If we fall in that 6 to 10 and we take the draft pick, dreams come true. If I can get Brandon Miller or Anthony Black, I'm happy. Like, I don't even care who else we draft in the draft. Those are the two that if they're there 6 to 10 and I can get one of those two, my preference would be Black and then Miller, but I would love to pick up Anthony Black.
So,
and he's kind of in that 6 to 10 range. I think he would be a steal in 6 to 10.
On this draft, they've got Brandon Miller going 8, and then Anthony Black. Where is he? Is he before that?
I've seen him mock to us.
Oh, yeah, 6th. So they've got Anthony Black 6. I really like Anthony Black.
It depends on the draft you're looking at, because I'm looking at a draft right now that has Black going 11 and Miller going 5th. So it depends on who you look at. Like they vary back and forth.
I think Tankathon they had Brandon Miller going as high as 4th, I've seen.
Well, I'm looking at Tankathon right now, and with Nick Smith now playing, Nick Smith moved ahead of Brandon Miller, and Brandon's down to 5.
So I want to hit on this other draft pick that they have on here for the Utah Jazz. It would be the 13th pick via the Timberwolves, which that seems most likely to be our highest draft pick at the moment. They have us drafting Keontae George from Baylor. He's a freshman. It says, with high uses and tough schedule early, George has had mixed performances, though the pros still outweigh the lows. NBA teams will see translatable shot making in his shooting, versatility, and ability to elevate over defenders, while his burst-splitting defenses and screens should continue to work at the NBA level. His 5 assists per game have also been noteworthy and highlight real combo guard playmaking ability. Improving his shot selection and in-between game will help George avoid turning some scouts
So you're asking me to take an undersized combo guard from Baylor.
Well, they have the thing is, if we're 13 and let's say that this is real, they have the other Thompson twin going at 15. I'd rather just take my chances on the Thompson.
Oh yeah, both Thompson twins I think will go in the top 8.
I do too. What about Grady Dick?
Love him.
Love him. I don't know, but I'm trying to figure why. I'm just trying to figure out why he doesn't project very well.
Grayson Allen 2.0.
Dude, I feel like he's a little bit of Grayson Allen and Tyler Hero mixed together.
Yeah,
I think he's a less injury prone Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, he seems really physical and honestly knows where to be, and like his IQ's really high. Obviously, he can shoot. 6'8" wing as well. So it seems like this draft class is just loaded with big players, like 6'8" wings.
I mean, I will never pass on a freshman out of Kansas. Like they know how to turn out their one and dones there. Like I'm not gonna pass on them. They do well there.
The stuff that I've been reading. Oh, what if we got Dylan Mitchell, and then we could have another Mitchell that wears 45. He's from Texas. I know a lot of people have been high on him too. But
he's super raw. Super raw. But so was Donovan when we got him.
So out of let's just say from the 15 to 25 range, like who is your favorite player that you want?
Anthony Black, easily.
Yeah, but he's gonna go top 10.
There's no way he goes out of it. So
yeah, he's top 10.
So I mean, this is gonna sound very, very biased, but Terrence Shannon Jr. Out of Illinois, he's a shooting guard. What I like about him, he's a senior, so he's a 4-year guy. He'll be able to come in, make an immediate impact. He's an up-and-comer. The kid can shoot the ball like crazy. I watch a lot of Illinois basketball.
Dude, he's not even on this draft.
It's because he's an up-and-comer. Like he'll be there, I promise you. He's a top 25 project. He's going to be in that 18 to 25 range. He's already starting to show up in Tankathon. But
oh, here he is. He's got. Wait, it's not Coleman Hawkins. Is that who you said?
No, Terrence Shannon Jr.
So why? So Coleman Hawkins is on Illinois as well, power forward center. You think that Terrence Jr. is going to go ahead of him?
I do. Like he'll be 23 when he enters the draft, so he's a little bit older. He's a senior, so he's kind of like Abaje. But he's got great hands, fast hands. He can shoot the ball, and I think if you're going to be drafting a bunch of rookies, I think you have to get one that's got a little bit more experience. I don't think you want 3 freshmen or 3 freshmen or 2 freshmen and a sophomore. I think if you're taking 3
Kevin, this dude's not even in the top 60 on this draft that I'm looking at.
Have you guys seen that
I'm telling you,
center
come
from
draft
Purdue
night,
putting
he's
up
going to be in the
stupid
top
numbers?
25. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, have you seen that center for Purdue putting up stupid numbers?
Oh yeah, the big white kid that he would.
Like
Dude,
Edey or whatever?
he's a senior, isn't he? He is massive.
So. He's massive, and he's putting up, like, consistently, like, 25 and 10.
Well, they're ranked number 1 in the nation right now, Purdue. I would take him, especially if it's a back. Like, imagine him. You could have him and Kessler on the floor and bring back like a David Robinson and Tim Duncan type duo. Oh, that'd be awesome. Bring back old school basketball.
I don't know if that works we tried that with Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert, and I don't know if that works in the modern NBA.
Yeah, but if you got two guys that can offensively, score, can this? Well, I don't know. I think that kid can shoot from like the free throw line, right? Like 15 feet out.
Yeah, look up actual game tape on him.
What's his name again?
It's like something Edey. He plays for
Edey Purdue.
Yeah, he plays for Purdue.
I know because I remember watching him last year in March Madness. What's his name? Zach Edey. Oh, let's go, Zach Edey.
I would love to take him like at the back end of like the first round. Man, he's a monster. And he's built like freight train.
How big is he? 7'4"? 7'4"? Let's go, Zach Edey! He's not even projected in the top 60 though.
No, he's not.
He's consistently putting up absolutely not. But he's consistently putting up like 23 and 10.
But who has Purdue played so far this year? They played anybody of consequence?
Who cares? He's 7'4".
Oh, they beat Duke and Gonzaga? Wow.
I mean, they're ranked number 1 in the nation. You got to beat somebody to do that.
So he put 20.
Oh, sorry, guys.
He put 23 up against Gonzaga and 21 up against Duke. He had a double-double against Duke. Wow.
Dookie boys.
Man, since Coach K left, Duke is really just had a rough go at things.
Oh, I forgot Coach K's not there anymore.
I've heard that Coach Calipari's on the chopping block.
In Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's on the chopping block, but with the rumors of them getting rid of the one and done and him, building his whole entire program around that, there's a lot of whispers that he may just leave because that's his whole entire program is built around the success of a one and done, and he may not want to continue.
Well, yeah, because next year it's going to be gone.
Yeah. And it's already starting to struggle with the G League. Like, he's lost a lot of recruits to the G League. A lot.
Oh, man, I'm watching this Zach Edey, and
Ignite's doing work. I'm not going to lie. The G League Ignite, they are doing work as far as prospects go, because they are like, come over here, we'll pay you. You'll be drafted super high.
Well, and Scoot was a Kentucky commit at 14 or 15, when he was super young. He was supposed to go to Kentucky until the G League became a thing.
Have you guys seen much of Leonard Miller that plays for them, who's projected towards I think he's projected towards the end of the first round?
See, would you rather take a college kid or someone from the G League? Because the trend lately in these last few drafts are G League players, and maybe they're playing against higher competition.
NBA talent.
Yeah. So their game translates a little better because you've got a lot of ex-NBA players or guys on the fringe. Butler's there. Saban Lee's there now. What do you think that the draft strategy? I mean, it's got to be trending towards taking G League guys.
It's definitely transitioning. I still feel pretty confident I still think the competition in college is stronger right now than the G League. But in another 3 or 4 years, I don't think that'll be the case.
Why?
Because I don't think Azir Thompson is averaging 4 steals a game in college.
Do you think March Madness is going to continue to be as exciting as it has been with the rise of like the G League and all these other leagues.
Yeah, I think that will never, in my opinion, I think that will never go away just because it's a tournament. It's the format of the tournament that makes it so exciting. Maybe you're not going to have the best players, but you're still going to have players laying it all out on the line. And
I actually think it'll be more exciting because I think you're going to see more upsets because I don't think you're going to see these super top-heavy teams that are just stacked full of talent.
Yeah, but that's why the tournament's so great is because you do have these top-heavy teams and they get beat.
But the thing about it is like you're gonna see number 1 seeds going down in the first and second round now.
Beautiful, baby. I don't think that, personally, I don't think it'll ever go away. I don't even watch a ton of college basketball throughout the year, but once March Madness goes on, that's like Christmas. I take those first 4 days off of work and just get 2 or 3 screens going, cook me up some ribs. Oh, it's a party.
Especially when they have the tournament in Salt Lake, I buy the 2-day pass and go hang out down at the Vivint Arena for 2 days.
And plus there's so many people that bet on those games. Like that's another reason.
I live like 10 minutes from Viv. It's just great. When even summer league,
yeah,
it's fantastic.
So can we come park at your place when we come to games? Is what you're saying?
Go for it.
Do you have more than one parking spot?
I don't, but there's plenty of street parking.
Are you up in the boulevard? Or?
As long as you don't park around here during like when the U is playing, good Lord.
Yeah. No, honestly, I just went to the New Orleans Pelicans game in overtime, and that South I don't know if I want to say this. The South Garage, I didn't even have to pay. They just let me out, so it's right across.
Right. So I work at the I'm a butcher for the Whole Foods in Trolley Square. Mm-hmm. I actually had a conversation with. I've been waiting to talk to other Jazz fans about this because
here we are, baby.
I had a conversation with Johnny Juzang.
Oh, really?
He came in and I actually had a conversation with him and asked him how he liked it here, and he was the coolest guy of all time, and it was just like, man, I love it here. It's beautiful. Like he had nothing but good things to say about Utah, and he was like, I love it here. I'm from California, so experiencing winter is fantastic. And he was just like he's like, when I go home to LA, it's weird because it's like I can't sleep. It's like noisy and awful, and here it's like I sleep like a baby because everything is just crickets.
That excites me so much to hear you say that. I would have lost my crap to have a conversation with him because I'm a big drafty guy, and when he went undrafted, I was floored. Like, he was my number 1 undrafted guy from this past draft. Like, I just couldn't believe nobody picked him up. And when the Jazz got him,
I told him I was so happy that the Jazz picked him up because he's one of my favorite college players, and he was just the most humble guy I've ever met.
Is he going to be a piece moving forward? Can he develop into a piece?
I think so.
You saw my list. You saw where I ranked him on my future Jazz picks, and you all made fun of me, but...
Yeah, but he hasn't played a minute.
But
he was a first-round talent that year that he went crazy in March Madness.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch UCLA play, you know this boy has talent.
Yeah, but so did Jared Butler, and so did Trey Burke, and they were...
No. But he's got the size to go with the talent.
So will he play significant minutes this year, or is it going to be next year?
Next year.
It'll probably be next year.
All right, then let's move on from Johnny. So I want to try something out, guys. I have a highlight reel of Zach Edey playing Villanova. Does anyone have access to YouTube? Because we are streaming live on YouTube, and I'm going to play this on there right now so we can talk about it.
I guarantee you have already watched it.
I'm sure you have, but...
When did you start streaming? I went up on your...
Bro, I've been streaming this whole time.
It's not showing on YouTube.
No, don't say that to me.
I'm on your channel right now, and I don't see a link to anything live right now.
It says, oh my gosh.
It says notify me.
I haven't been streaming this whole time. Here we go. The stream's starting now. Well, dang it.
Is it just the same name, Jazz Basketball Podcast?
Jazzketball.
Oh, Jazzketball.
Yeah, so I should be streaming now. Dude, you know what the funny thing is I even created another scene. Watch, I created another scene to move back and forth. This whole time I've been clicking back and forth between scenes to keep people entertained on YouTube, and no one has been watching.
Because I went to go to the channel because I wanted to see if you removed the delay this time.
Oh, it is recording the video, though, so at least I can upload the video to YouTube. Dang it, dude. That sucks. So, is it working now?
Yeah, let me mute myself so I can see if there's a delay in the voice.
Yeah, and leave, you know what else is funny? I've been chatting with no one as well, just saying, hi, everyone. Feel free to leave a comment. Hi, Dallin.
There's still like a 20-second delay or whatnot, but yeah.
All right, so.
I'm telling you though, this kid is a monster.
Okay, you guys ready? Are you guys both on? Downs on there. Kevin, are you on YouTube? Let's bump this up to 4 viewers, 3 viewers. It's hilarious how when the Jazz lose, nobody gets on these.
It's gonna take me off. I'm doing this all on my phone. So it's going to take me off of Twitter if I...
Yeah, that's fine. Just do it for a little bit. Leave your comments, because I kind of want to test out my chat on YouTube. So you can either mute yourself or just get off and then come back on this, whatever works.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll give you like 30 seconds to get on. I'm going to look at some other stats from tonight's game. No, I'm not. Why even hash out this 20-point loss?
Why torture us?
What we'll do until we wait for him is we're going to go around the association. Right now we've got Milwaukee just about to beat New Orleans Pelicans. Not by as much as they beat us, but they're up by 8. Portland is losing to Oklahoma City by 2 with 5 seconds left. Oh, does someone have League Pass? Man, that'd be a good one. I know Dallin has League Pass. The Lakers are losing big to the Phoenix Suns by 20 in the third quarter. 8 minutes to go in the third.
We're ready. Roll the clip.
Sacramento, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. We're rolling the clip, baby. Oh. Okay. I mean, he's huge. I don't know if that's just gonna left hand. Is he left-handed? Left-handed? What's up, Alex? Yeah. Can he take it to Joel Embiid is the real question. Like,
no way, because Joel Embiid will just take him to 15 feet and say goodbye.
Oh, I know, because like he's got a guy, like the guy guarding him isn't that big. This dude is massive though. He moves pretty good for a 7'4" guy. I just feel like he's a little bit slow and people are gonna just, yep, that's my ball. Yep, that's my ball. He's got a good little left hand jump shot. If he could get like a hook shot, unstoppable hook shot. Yeah, bro, you need to keep those guys on your back. He's got good hands for his size. This kid is an absolute monster, Alex says. Alex, is there a better highlight video that we can watch? Leave it in the chat. And I'll play that one next. This one is a year old, so might not be the most recent. Man, I'm starting to get heartburn. Hey guys, I'm ending the Twitter Spaces, and then you guys can just chat me through the YouTube, and yeah, it'll be fun that way. I just want to try this out. So see ya. Oh, dang. Was this a... This wasn't March Madness. The scouting report. Let's go on that. All right, let's go watch the scouting report. Alex said that is a good one. I mean, this dude is big. He seems a little slow. He's got really good hands. I just don't know. He's not on any draft boards, is he? I don't think he is. See, with me streaming and then loading this, it's actually really hard because it takes a while. I have to let the video load. But check out my new scene, guys. Watch this. Boom. And what do you guys think of the logo? I had to get into Photoshop, mess around a little bit. I had mixed reviews whether to do just the note or just the mountains, so I decided let's just combine them both. And I think this looks pretty clean. I'm happy with it. Oh, dude, this is so slow. It might not work. Maybe this is a reason I need to tell my wife we need to upgrade our internet. Actually, we're going to have to upgrade our internet because we don't have unlimited, and this streaming is going to be insane. Is it laggy for anyone else? Is the stream laggy, or is the video laggy behind it? Did the Utah Jazz win the Donovan Mitchell trade? So draft, let me see what you said. Scouting report. Am I laggy, or is it just the video? Scouting report. Not a question mark. Boom. Called the channel's called B Blend. Guys, this might not be worth it, honestly. Let me pull up the other scene so you guys can kind of see. The logo's better than the Jazz rebrand. Got that straight. Oh, where did my Google go? Oh, why did it do that? Okay, so let's go B Len. I probably should put in his name, but we'll see what pops up here. Oh, we could have a heyday on this. Maybe we need to do just a draft prospects episode. Basically, that's what we're doing because we didn't stream the whole thing. If you want to listen to the actual podcast, I was not streaming on YouTube, but it's on all major platforms. I'm actually exporting the audio file to upload to Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you grab your cast at, so you can go back and listen to what you missed. NBA draft prospects, born in 2004. This is a sweet website. I'm going to subscribe here. Boom. It's got a white cat. Let's go. Beelan, Zach, Edey. Let's see what we got. It is so hot in my basement. Google Fiber, my dude. You need You need that gig life. It's all laggy. You're laggy. The video is stuttering. Freak. That's because I'm trying to load this at the same high. Oh, 1 month ago. This is it. So I'm going to let the video load. You guys hopefully... What about the sound? Is the sound coming through okay, or is the sound stuttering along with the video? I'm going to have to upgrade my internet. Just no choice. I don't know if I have fiber, Google Fiber, where I'm at.
He's an athlete.
Okay, stop. I mean, streaming and trying to load a video. Bro, stop. Come on, YouTube. I'm gonna have to get a new router too then. I guess I know what I want for Christmas. Holy cow. Reopen the Twitter space and just watch it. No, I'm about to get off if this isn't working. Actually, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to upload the video of the actual podcast. We need to do a YouTube video about draft preview. Yeah. I'm wanting to... I know that you can get into like a virtual room, so you guys can be on screen too. That'd be really fun to do. I want to be able to get the YouTube video so we all can watch it at the same time after you upgrade to fiber. Yeah, no joke. Okay, guys, if you're still here... Here we go. Maybe. Nope. I'm going to go 720 so that it's you can actually see it. It was like 180. Okay, it's uploading. It's a 2-minute 44. This was against Milwaukee. Says it was a month ago. 12 points, career high, 17 rebounds. 6 block. This was on November 8th. Here we go.
Immediate big guy who can shoot free throws. I hope I didn't hex it. No, you didn't.
All right.
It's too early.
You can shoot free throws. All right. Good stroke.
Shake Smith as he gets into the paint. Smith with the rebound off the miss and looking to push.
He's slow, that's for sure.
Browning just had a nice drive on the last one. We talked that.
Oh.
Well, when you have somebody inside,
dude, he's Yao Ming. He's a Yao Ming.
And he's one of their veteran guys. He needs to make shots. That's what he does. So far, 0 for 2. He had a really good exhibition game for them.
Yeah, I think NBA players are going to figure out how to score on him, though. He's like, look at that. He's just a little slow. I mean, he affects the shot.
With the steal, Gillis in the open floor is going to have to regather to Smith.
All right.
They pushed it out. Great pass to Edey for the dunk.
They've been taking the ball away at a pretty good clip here tonight against these Panthers on the drive. Mentioned it earlier, 8th in the Pac-12 in shot blocks a year ago, despite playing a limited role for the Beavers. In the corner, good find from the big man.
Throwing the ball to Zach inside. He had to throw to the managers, not on the weak side, but they were sitting in chairs.
Even 24 from the floor, one of the reasons why the Panthers are hanging around the bowl with the hold. His second
might be the buffering or the settings in my system. I haven't really messed around with it on why it's doing this.
It surprised me. It made me feel good.
Edey inside, really good ball.
Edey.
You know, they protected the paint with their size, and then they made sure they got to the three-point shooter.
Is it Edey, not Eddie? It's Edey. I think he's Japanese, maybe. Like edamame, but Edey mommy. That was a nice block. I just want to know how big these guys are that he's going up against. Like, are they 7-footers? Because they look so small.
Inside against Edey, got a piece of that.
Edey.
Offensive board, Gillis. Tough shot. Edey secures the offensive board. There's the putback.
Technical difficulties and still better than Locked On. Thanks. Well, yeah, that's fun watching those. I want to do. It almost might be easier to do it in person and not stream it, just record the video. I know streaming just kills it, so maybe we could even do a space. A space. I'll send the link. We'll figure it out. We'll figure some way out to do it, or just upgrade my internet. I know that I need to mess around with the settings on this as well, but thanks for watching, guys. It's fun when the Jazz lose to get into these drafts and see who the Jazz might draft. Here's one of them that people are predicting, Jalen Wilson from Kansas. I mean, he's got fear tattooed on his biceps, so what more could you ask for? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on all of it. Just put in Jazzketball. Miss the Twitter space. Sorry, A Money. Yeah, if you guys can subscribe, like, comment on this video, kind of pump up the YouTube channel. I think if we can get enough on the YouTube channel, it'll be a better way to do these. I do like Twitter Spaces, but yeah, just subscribe, and I'm going to try and do both every single game. So we will see you guys on not Tuesday, Wednesday against Detroit. We really need this one, and then I believe we've got a little bit of an easy stretch. We come back home and then on the road for 3 games. I believe they're all winnable. Spurs are one of them. Golden State's one of them. I think that's going to be the toughest one, but all winnable games against teams that are under 500, I believe. Oh, Sacramento Kings coming up. Yeah, so like, subscribe, comment. You know the drill, and go Jazz. Jazzketball podcast, baby. Subscribe. Rudy is also slow, but he developed. That is true. Rudy was slow. I feel like that guy might just weigh so much that the thing that Rudy had was he was skinny and then he got stronger. That guy just looked. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll keep an eye on him a little bit more. I'm dropping. Hit me up on Twitter. Yes, sir, Kevin. Can't watch it. ZZZZ. Technical difficulties, but now the sound. Yeah, we'll have to mess around with this more and get it cracking. See you guys.